YouTube, my name is Stacy. I'm known here as flightyrambler, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel today. Today I'm continuing with the Index Card a Day Challenge that's hosted by Yellow Daisy Art. She is known as Tammy Garcia, and she has a web page and an Instagram that I'll have linked in the description box below. Tammy has been hosting this challenge for the past 12 years, and this is the first year I'm participating. For myself today, it is day 38, and there is 61 days to this challenge, so I'm over halfway there. I'm going to begin today's project by gluing 3 index cards together, and then after that's dry, I'll take up a pencil and do some scribble journaling and mark making. Once I've finished dumping my thoughts, I'll go ahead and add a layer of gesso. And it is a thick layer of gesso, so before it completely dries, I'll use the back end of my paintbrush to do some more scribbles. After the gesso has completely set, I'm looking into my stash of napkins and I find this adorable bird, and I decide I'm going to work with this napkin today. The scale is just about right. I'm not going to be able to use much of the background, but my focus is on that cute bird. This napkin is going to be available in my Etsy shop. The shop is now open for business, and I encourage you to go check that out. There is a link to my shop in the description box below. I'll use my water brush to get one of the panels out of the napkin, and then I'll pull the plies apart. I'm going to use that same water brush to go around the bird and get it out of the napkin. And when I use a water brush, the napkin kind of dissolves, which gives it a very fuzzy edge, which means it'll melt better onto the background I'll be creating. I decide I want the branch as well, so I use that same technique. Now that I have my focal points, I need to work on the background. I'll reach into my stash of napkins, and there's this fabulous grayscale background texture napkin. This one will also be available in my Etsy shop, so you can go ahead and go over there and check that out. I'm going to sandwich this napkin between 2 layers of matte medium. I'll spread it out on the card to begin with. I'll lay the napkin down, and then I'll go ahead and put another layer of that glue on top. Once it's dry, I'll trim away the excess. And then I decide I want some color on top of that napkin, so I'll reach for my watercolor palette. This is by Jane Davenport, and it's the bright set. I'm reaching for the greens of this palette, and I'm just going to randomly paint some on my background, and then I'll blot most of it away. And then it's time for some watercolor splats, 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 splats. I'll go ahead and give this card a good dry, and then I decide I want to mute the colors down a bit more, so I'll use a watered down layer of gesso. Now, because there's color on my background and tissue is notoriously transparent, I'm going to paint out the background of the bird and the branch with white gesso so that it has a more solid presence on this busy card. Once everything is dry, I'll use a square brush to add some white marks to my background with that gesso. And when I'm ready to glue it down, it's a layer of matte gel medium on the bottom, and then the tissue, bird, and branch, as well as a layer on top. Once the glue has dried, I have created a non-porous surface, which means that I can use these Pitt Artists pens, and they're going to have a minute or a moment to be smeared around before it dries and is set permanently. I'll go ahead and use the Pitt Artist pen in neon blue and neon yellow to give life to the bird, and I'm loving how the colors are coming together. Now the branch needs some attention, and I will use 2 colors of India ink in these brush pens to color it in and cover up the little feet on the bird that was on the branch previously. Now that everything is covered up and colored beautifully, it's time to reach for my Micron pen. This will be in 05, and it's time for my sketchy lines. I will go ahead and sketch around the bird, the branch. I will add details to the bird and its eyes, its wings, and I'll even add some cross hatch marks just to make it look a little more unique. And I love how this looks. It looks like the bird was painted there, and we all know that it was just a wonderful napkin. After everything has dried, it's time to turn my attention to some highlights. I'll reach for my Unibroad Signo in white and go ahead and add white to the bird and the branch. And then it's time for my sentiment. For today, I'm reaching for Tim Holtz's Big Chat, and yes, there's the word, some understanding. I'm understanding that it takes time and patience, and good things come to those who wait. With my sentiment chosen, I'll use Aleene's tacky glue to glue the sentiment down. And once the sentiment has dried, I'll use that same micron pen to make it pop. And as I said, I encourage you to go check out my Etsy shop. It's full of a bunch of fun napkins right now. And that's it for my project today. I'd like to thank you for watching. I encourage you to please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can see what I'm up to next. And until my next video, bye-bye.